Rich Ortiz here with the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. You have that fighter on you right now. You have that. Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We can call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard it from the champ himself, simply knocking out the competition. Not Rich Ortiz here with the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. And like Eddie
Lopez, because Josh Taylor is
the 4th division world champion, Mikey Garcia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I'm here with co-host tonight, ZOE Lopez. She's going to be helping out here on the podcast with our guests, Stockton's own Kilo the Kid Madera, who has a big fight December 9th on the undercard of Regis Prograis and Devin Haney. First of all, welcome to the show, Kilo. And it's a pleasure to have you back once again, ZOE.
Thank you.
Kilo, I spoke to you earlier off camera, and you just finished working out. You're not, when it's all said and done, there's not going to be a stone that you didn't turn over or that you didn't have to move out of the way to prepare yourselves for this big opportunity on pay-per-view national TV. What are you doing differently in your camp? Are you staying the same? Who have you brought in? Tell the viewers, the followers, and supporters, what can we expect once that bell rings from Kilo the Kid Madera?
Expect the same thing as always, fireworks.
You always want to bring the fight to your opponent. It doesn't matter who he is. I was just talking to co-host ZOE Lopez, and she was watching one of your fights, and she said, Richard, he's definitely a brawler. ZOE, we spoke about his style, and we also talked about the opportunity that he has. What does it mean for Kilo the Kid to get this victory come December 9th, and what do you think it's going to do for his career, ZOE?
I was watching and I was reading some of your, comments, and I'm looking at like, you really have like this brawler style. So for you coming into, and I was like, you're training during a really difficult time throughout the holidays, basically. So this has to mean something big for you if you're going to stay, focused, come to December 9th. How do you feel this is going to be for you, this fight? What do you see it as a match?
What do you mean? How do I see it?
Yeah, like how you're gonna come in? Do you feel like you said you're gonna bring in some fireworks, and I see like your style. Like I was saying, you're much of a brawler. Do the holidays interfere with you as you're, during your training? Do you feel like that gets in the way?
Nah, everything's good. I mean, I feel like people think I'm a brawler, but I'm really a really good boxer. But I just choose to fight, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring the fight, but I'm gonna box and be smart.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm bringing the fight for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and more of a brawler style was, based on like some of the seeing you, when you were doing your face-offs and stuff. You're very, you're tough. You're not afraid to be vocal, and I seen your captions, and I'm like, all right, I like that.
You mean I'm just a badass and I don't give a fuck and I'm ready to fight?
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. I was like, he has that sound. Like, just based on like the captions, you can kind of tell someone's ready to bring it even before they step into the ring. You have that voice. You put in your captions, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, it's the real fighter tenacity.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can tell. That's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, you can totally tell he has that brawler outside of the ring also, just based on how you speak,
Yeah.
Kilo, you always, early in your career, you would always set up traps for the one of your punches that gets overlooked. A lot of people see the big right hand, but your go home punch early in your career was your left hook coming off the combination. Is that something you've been working on, bringing it back for this fight?
I've been working on everything. The left
I know
hook,
you want
the
to
right
be a complete
hand,
fighter.
the body shot, everything.
Once again, it's almost like you're fighting a clone of your last fight. The same style. I mean, a mover that moves around. I don't see your opponent sitting there and banging with you. What adjustments are you ready to make?
I mean, I think well, number one, I went up in weight my last fight. I met a dude at a catch weight. I went up in weight. this fight's more at my weight at 160. So I doubt this guy's gonna be any faster than him because that fool was already fast, and I doubt he's gonna be any stronger than him for sure. So if anything, it's just downhill from what I fought last. But even the guy I fought, he didn't really do shit either besides a jab. I brought it to him all night long, and he kept turning his face and his head, and the referee kept helping him and saving him all night long. Um, because I was bringing all the heat back to him the whole time. You know, he did have a better jab, and I should have made some more adjustments with uh, cutting off a little bit better with off the jab. But the referee really stopped him a lot because my fight was on the inside, the mid game, and the referee kept messing up my game. He even took a point from me. You know, he just kind of was like putting me in a stagger position. But I mean, no excuses. You know. But he did save him. But I think just work a little more the jab, and just stay more busy, and get let off sooner, and just be more better in every way, shape and form. But this guy's, I mean, I don't see nothing. Little mover style, whatever. He's in a jab and move around, and what else? I mean, nothing. I ain't seen nothing that I can't do if I wanted to, but I don't want. I'm trying to make it a fight.
You know,
You know.
what a lot of people don't know is the experience you have also, not just since the boxing ring. I will say outside of the ring with some of your sparring sessions. I mean, with, a lot of people forget Andre Ward, Triple G, Canelo, the who's who of boxing you share that ring with to not only.
I never sparked Canelo. That's the only one
Oh,
I have.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Triple G. I'm thinking the trilogy. Um, what experience has it given you for your career?
Well, obviously, it gives you experience. Just being in the ring with those fighters. Um, but I think what's more better right now is that I just recently fought like 4 months ago, and that's the first time I fought. Um, so recent in a while, like because for my last couple fights, they've all been like spread it out within a year to 2 years, and that's a big plus, So
Yeah, staying after.
yeah,
So
just
for
being in the ring.
2024,
Yeah,
how
just
often would you
just
like to fight, or how
just
many fights would you like to have?
if I mean honestly, I would like four, but I mean I'll take three big ones. I really just I'm trying to get guys that are on their way to the top, but most likely even like an ex champion or um, a contender. I'm trying to get some good fights. So I'm gonna knock this guy off and get a big fight. All I'm looking for is big fights and good fights to put me in the position that I need to be in so I can fight for what I want.
Yeah, it's a good time for you to make a statement, end the year 2023 and come in, and have that opportunity, those opportunities open up to you where you can have either three solid fights, 4 or 5, throughout the year if they're not, bigger fights for you.
Yeah.
I know you're good friends with the Vargas brothers. I got to ask you this, Kilo. What's the best advice you got from Senior Fernando Vargas Senior, the living legend? What advice did he give you that you use today?
Stay focused, stay disciplined. You know, just work hard, hit the body,
Yeah,
hit the body.
yeah. What's been your best advice given by a professional, by someone like like Fernando Vargas? He has his kids and he's always constantly giving advice to other fighters as well. But has there been a fighter, anyone that's giving you like some advice that has always stuck out to you?
Nah, nothing that I could think of right now.
Yeah, everyone's kind of like on the general, like stay focused, stay in the gym, don't fuck around.
Kilo, I've known you for some time, man. You're ready to go right now, this minute. You got that fighter mentality, man. And I just, they're short answers, they're focused, and you're like, what the fuck? Let's do this and let's move on because I'm ready for that first battle to ring. You mentioned fireworks, man. You always bring fireworks. That's not a given. There has not been a fight where you don't want to fight at the press conference or the weigh-in, or you don't leave your mark inside of the ring. Is it the same style constantly for this big fight? Because this is the magnitude is a big opportunity for you. Pay-per-view, Kilo the Kid Madera, and winning by knockout in sensational fashion. Where do you think and where do you hope it propels you?
I don't really know, but I know it's a big card. You know, I know it's a big opportunity. More than anything, I just want to go in there and do my job, and obviously win in spectacular fashion. And shit, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, somewhere good. You know, somewhere big. We'll see. Honestly, part of me get carried, but part of me don't even give a fuck. I just want to go in there, fuck this fool up, and I'll worry about the next day. You know, like I just want to go win and um, put up a good fight, make an exciting performance, and the next thing, you know, I'll think about the next chapter later. Right now, I just want to
Hmm.
focus on this chapter and go in there and do my thing, you know,
Yeah,
and look good.
exactly. Time to shine on your next bout. 2024. Depending on how this goes and stuff. Like how you said, you'll have time to focus on
I'm gonna win.
next year. Hmm.
Hey, Kilo, this question's coming in and this comment's coming in from Shelly Hollis, as you know, Shelly Hollis, who runs the media outlet, The Black Corner. He said, Kilo, you're my boy. I know you're going to go out there and do your thing. During the time that you were training and sparring with Nate Diaz, what did you learn from it, him being an MMA fighter? And what did you think of his performance against Jake Paul? And is it another promotion under his promotion? Do you see yourself being a part of it?
Yes, real fighting, baby. I don't got the chains. I should have flexed the chain on you guys, but I, I just got out of training. You know, I don't be training with a chain on, but but yeah, real fighting. And now you obviously you learn a lot. You know, like high pace, throws a lot of punches. He could fight. You know, he's been around forever, and you also get to be around. You see some tight shit. You know, even little jiu-jitsu. Been in there rolling around here and there. You know, obviously, right now I'm in the fight camp, so I haven't really been doing nothing like that. But did a couple months back. But grinding, that's it. Putting in work.
Yeah, and that chain, it would have been nice if you did have it. I seen in one of your
I
pictures.
remember that.
Really nice.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And that's a special gift to receive, man, because not everybody receives it. I mean, you got to be a badass and you got to be all about that life to receive that. And not everybody can just wear it. I mean, to buy one is one thing, but to earn it, Kilo, is another. How does that make you feel knowing that you've earned it and you got the respect from a UFC Hall of Famer?
Obviously, you know, it's tight. You know, me and all the guys that got a chain, everybody who fought on the card, everybody that he put on. So, and we all just,
Awesome.
it was tight. It was chill. It was a good moment. You know, being from Stockton, and it's a legend from my city. Um, been around forever. Him and his brother. You know, obviously, absolute honor as well. And it's tight. You know, it's his first promotion overthrown, and I got to me being from Stockton. Um, and I got the chance to be on the undercard too. You know, like
Hmm.
but I've helped Nate. You know, for a lot of fights too, sparring and stuff. So it's tight that I got to be on that undercard, and it
Yeah.
was yeah, it's tight. It was sick.
Zoe, me,
It was a sick as event. Felt like a president.
I hear you, man. So we spoke off camera about this, and it's such a blessing it is. Kilo, once again, you got a beautiful baby girl. First of all, congratulations. And I want to ask you, how has it changed you as a man, and what mentally has it done for you as a fighter? How much more motivation do you have now, knowing that you know that beautiful baby girl is just waiting for daddy to get that victory?
Well, obviously it's very motivating because you know I don't know if you know, but when I first went pro, I felt like I saw one of my daughter's ultrasounds, and it was like her telling me to follow my dreams. And I mean, I didn't know what really was gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
obviously I've always been a badass, and I've always been a good fighter. You know, but I mean, obviously you know where you're going. You know, but you follow your gut too. You know, so
Hmm.
follow that, and then one thing led to another, and obviously right now, my career's it's like you know you go through your ups and downs. Um, but then this daughter's like letting me know, like you know, like we're like in the middle of it. Like let's wrap it up and finish, you know.
Yeah.
So like first one got me going, and I did some cool things, you know. Got signed, whatever. Got some sick knockouts. So they've been around the game. This was more like, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's shoot it to the top, you know.
It's your time, Daddy. It's your time. That's what the big.
Yeah.
I seen that picture. Yeah.
So yeah, it's still it's motivating too, you know, because you know you have a newborn and she's depending on you, and she you got to be there as a dad too, you know, and just something to fight for, you know. So, you know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
different. And my other daughter, she's 9 years old, so she's a little older now, but it's different when the little baby's a baby, and it's like they need you more, you know. It's just even that extra little love, extra little softness, like it's it's worse for them out there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
ready to fuck some shit up, you know?
Yeah, because you're nice and tame when you're home, when you're around the family. They bring you that love, that, like, you know, they soften you up. But then, you know, once you step in, you have that fire that, like how you said, they're your motivation. That is your fire. So the focus is different. I think it's, you know, there's more to it because you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
Kilo, you know, I know you put out there, and every time somebody sponsors you, they get more than their money's worth. They get a bang for their buck. What do you got to say to these potential sponsors? What do they get in return? What can a sponsor receive from Kilo the Kid Madera once
Really,
want to sponsor you?
really, you sponsor me. Obviously, you're gonna get a shout out, but more than anything, you know, you get to be a part of what I'm building, you know, and what I'm becoming, and you know, the storyline. You know, my shorts. You know, someone takes a picture. I've had multiple pictures that blow up, multiple like sick knockouts, or just different stuff. You know, that patch is always on there. You know what I mean? And especially when you have historic nights like December 9th. You know, like that's a flex in itself. You know, so I mean, really, I want the bosses to hit me up and want to sponsor me. You know, because they're the ones who are gonna be able to do it anyways. You know, so it's a flex for them. You know, like damn, look that I sponsored that fighter right there. He was on this fight right here at the Warriors Chase Center, et cetera, et cetera. You know, so it's good for them and it's good for me. Helps me out so I can do what I got to do for my career, and yeah, it's a win-win. You know, because I mean publicity, and um, I'm always making numbers, so hitting numbers, so it's it's gonna be good.
So how do they contact you?
Tune in and if they don't, fuck them.
Well, Kilo, the ones that do, how do they contact you? How do they get a hold of you so they can become part of Team Madera?
Just send me a DM on Instagram, kilo_the_kid. Um, yeah, that'll probably be the best way. Just send me a DM.
Or that, you know, they could also reach out to the Fighter's Voice, and I'll forward everything to
Send me a DM or just hit Richard up and then call me. And then you tell me.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah.
When you mean
Give
business.
them. Yeah. Give him your number, and then I'll call. Tell me, and I'll call him. You know.
Absolutely, man. Kilo, do you have any sponsors currently right now that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, always Ziggy's always hooking me up. You know, they've been a part of my team since the beginning. Shout out Real Fighting, you know, NDA, Boxing Academy, um, just everybody in general. You know, everyone's always part of my career. I gotta call a bunch of my sponsors really right now. I just been focused in training and kind of had like a little cough, a little cold, so I haven't really been trying to reach out to people. You know, just been training. I was in LA sparring, so I'm really focused on my fight too. So like I don't really want to be like exerting too much of my energy looking for sponsors. If they come, you know, and if they don't, then it's all good too. You know, like I usually just reach out to the same ones that have been sponsoring me or old ones, or even new ones that do come through. You know.
Yeah.
But I just want to focus on my fight, and then the ones that want to join, cool, and if not, then they're gonna join after. You know, because they end up missing out anyways. You know, like this, like the events are sick.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I never have a boring fight. So.
No, you don't. And recently, manager Rick Meridian, he gave you your props, and you know he always seems to give you flowers. And you know, he said once again, Kilo the Kid's going to be banging, quite an opportunity December 9th. When you hear a promoter that fills the masses of seats, that's been part of the biggest promotions in the world, how does that make you feel when someone does recognize exactly what you bring to the event?
No, that's dope. Obviously, he is one of the greatest. Um, yeah, no, it's cool. Shout out Rick Meridian and sick. It's good letting people know. I mean, and it's nothing changed. It was like that back then, and it's like that now. It's cool. A lot of people know him and stuff. But even when he was building the whole everything here, I was on the cards, and we were bringing the same excitement. So it's dope. It was hot then, it's hot now, and ain't nothing changed with the date. We're gonna continue, and we're gonna put on a show December 9th.
Zoe, I'm reading your mind right now because I'm exactly reading it right now. Me and Zoe want to know, how do we get one of those Team Madera hoodies, man? What do they run? What do they go for? What sizes you got left? Because she just messaged me right now. She goes, ask them about the hoodie. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, actually, I got some boxes at home. I had a bunch for sale. I stopped posting them. I just been, but I know there's a bunch. There's some back home.
Oh yeah, feel free to tag us on any of your merch, so all our followers can go and have some from you. And as far as how the sponsors were going too, it's a really good thing that you're staying focused, but you're still trying to connect with previous sponsors and anyone who's new, because it is really good opportunity for businesses to be a part of your team, because you bring the excitement. Again, they have their logo on your shorts, and they're going to see it for a long time, and so it's a benefit for both. So
yeah, it's publicity.
Exactly. Yeah, so every hoodie sold, every hoodie worn, that says Team Madera, that's your name is out there. So feel free to tag us on that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Hey guys, I just want to take this time right now, and I want to thank Regional Hand Center in Fresno, California, Dr. Wigner. I hope I'm saying his name right. The best surgeon in Fresno, California. I don't mean to show you guys my surgery, but it is what it is, but I do got a pin in my finger. It was on the job, Kilo. I broke up a fight. There was a fight going on, and your boy stepped in the middle. And, I suffered an injury during.
You got your finger broke,
during
bro?
the time, because somebody was needing another person, and I had to get in there and do my thing. So, but the best surgeon in Fresno, California comes from Regional Hand Center, Fresno, California.
And you let a kid break your finger?
Hey, these high school kids are on meth, cocaine, and steroids, bro.
I'm just playing.
He says they're on steroids.
Hey, must have been a big kid.
And also, Chicano Brand Culture, who sent me this hat. I got to post this right here. They're a proud sponsor of Jesse Guerrero, who will be fighting next month on House of Champions 4. And I believe it's taking place in Oxnard, California, Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. So I just had to let them know. And also, Marie and Freddie Roach, who send me this gear from Wild Card Gym. Let me move the cup so you can see it. This in the hat. I give you guys props right now. So thank you. Appreciate that. All the gifts that the Fighter's Voice receives. And, hey, we appreciate us making the mark and you giving us the platform to be heard. Kilo, I got to ask you about a friend of yours, personal friend of yours. He's in, once again, another big fight. And I'm talking about Mr. Benavidez, who you also share the ring with. He has a fight coming up with Andrade, Hugo Andrade. I know you focus on yours, but this fight can't be overlooked, Kilo. What do you think about the matchup, and what do you think the outcome is going to bring to all the fans and followers and supporters that's taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada?
I think, honestly, it's funny because somebody hit me up to go spar with him too, with Andrade, but I was like, where is he fighting, baby? I was like, I ain't sparring him. And so I was like, nah, I didn't want to. I'm not about to help him spar, because he's fighting Benavidez. I was not that it would have helped anyways to win, because Benavidez is going to win. But that's like the second time I passed up sparring for someone that's fighting Benavidez, because, that's my boy. They put me in some tight camps, Thanks to him, I was able to spar him, obviously, but then I was sparring Triple G. And then I also got a chance to spar Zurdo Ramirez. because of them, you know. So it's a long time ago, you know, years ago, but still um, wasn't going to go help, you know.
Kilo, I want to say this. A lot of, see, what you just said right now, I want to make sure that is clear.
But Benavidez is gonna well, like he said, what he said, what's in the video? He goes, what happens every time I fight? He said, I'll beat the shit out of somebody. It's never a close fight. It's like, I think that it's gonna be the same thing, you know. Like I think Benavidez is
Well,
tight.
my point is, Kilo, that's very honorable of you, and I think that's your upbringing, and that's just that 209 blood that's inside of you. A lot of fighters would say, "Hell, shit, not the
And they're
paycheck
gonna
in
pay
that
me too.
business,"
I pass them the
but you're
money.
very
It's not
loyal
worth it,
to
you know.
your
I don't care.
friends. So once
I don't
again,
care
you were
about it.
offered to go into Boo Boo Andrade's camp. You declined because of the relationship you have with David Benavidez, correct?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't even really been in touch with David Benavidez for years. I haven't really talked to him. But we still follow each other on Instagram, and I still support him and stuff. But it's just still based on, you know, even though it's been years, and I was in that camp, and you know, they put me in other camps, and it was just like, you know, saying it's just ain't nothing changed with the date, you know, like I ain't trying to go over there, you know.
Zoe,
Yeah, you're not
Zoe,
gonna put your two
when you
cents.
hear that, I mean, you can't help but respect the fact that, hey, he turned down a paycheck, turned down some experience because of the loyalty that he has. You don't find that every day in the fighters today.
Yeah, my girl was like, "Nah, you should like go." I was like, "Nah, people don't understand. People don't understand. They don't. I don't know. It just don't. It don't sit. Things like that don't sit right with me. You know.
Yeah.
Like so, if I was about to fight somebody and then they're sparring somebody, and even if I ain't talked to them in a while, it made me feel like, man, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like I'd cut them off. Like fuck that fool. That's how I know. I'm different though.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're cut different. Well, you're
I got to
keeping
take
it
this
real,
call.
and you're going with your gut. You're not gonna do
Hey
something
guys,
that
I got to
doesn't
take
feel
this
right.
call real quick, okay?
Oh, there he goes.
I get it. I get it. Business is business, but I had to take
Yeah,
that call. I had to take that call.
yeah. Well,
But
he gave us, you know,
hey, he's in that fight
I
mode
think
right now.
credit for it.
He's definitely in that fight mode right now. Zoe, so this tells you exactly where a fighter's at. Not
Yeah,
I didn't give any indication of disrespecting him at all, but you know, I do have to take that call. I got to keep the lights on at night for the podcast. I got to keep them going. But knowing that he has that mentality, and he said to expect fireworks December 9th, you already know he's going to bring the fight, and you already know he's very confident. And now that he has his newborn baby there to watch and acknowledge and respect and look up to her father, I can't wait for that first bout of ring. I mean, we're talking about the main event. I
yeah,
can't wait for the undercard.
yeah. Well, there you go. A lot of the times the undercards are the ones who come in and they really do bring the fireworks more than they do the main show, and we've seen it, you know, multiple times. And I don't doubt that he's gonna bring it. You know, he's gonna come out with that fire. You see, especially during training. I get it. There's no disrespect. I don't feel like, you know, either way he needs to get off. There is no time to
No,
waste
no,
during their camp.
no.
They're staying focused, and to me that's very commendable. You know, he's staying. He's just getting off of the gym right now. They're probably training. He's probably training multiple times a day. You know, this is going to be his wind down time, and I think it was great. You know, he came in and he kept it real.
Yeah, he did keep it real, and you know, sometimes
Yep.
at my expense, but it is what it is. Like I said, I got to keep the lights on. You know, the whole boxing
Yeah.
is a business. One thing I do want to talk about is he has this regimen that he does after training. What he does is when people go inside and they could afford like that ice box or what have you, he keeps it the old fashioned way. He fills up this tub with water, goes and buys about 10 stacks of
Back
ice,
to
puts it in there,
mm-hmm.
goes in there, doesn't go in and out, sits there until his body heals. To me, that
Wow.
seems to be his serenity. That's his time where he says, okay, he challenges his mind and ignores the pain, ignores the cold, ignores the numbness, and just puts himself exactly where he needs to be. So when it's all said and done, he doesn't have a stone that's not unturned. Every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different kind of focus. That's something you know, fighters when they're in it around and they're at another level. That kind of training, that kind of, you know, I'm gonna go sit in an ice bath and not think about it. That's insane. You know, props to all of them.
No, it is. It is. And sometimes, you know, keeping it
Mhm.
real is keeping it real. I think we all keep it real. You know, we do. We
Yeah.
really do. You know,
Yep.
it's part of the business, it's part of the platform, and it's part of what we do. Zoe, a lot of people didn't know from your last testimony of coming on here. They didn't know that you were
Mhm.
a fighter, that you were inside of the gym. They just thought you were a pretty face. They just thought you were a manager. They didn't know that you also were in the ring and that you also had your struggles and that you continue to push forward today. And it was one of the most following. I had a lot of followers that day that once we had
Oh, nice.
broadcasted that you were on the show, and as well as that you
Hmm.
co-hosting today. Knowing that you yourself have that following, how does that make you feel?
That's awesome because I think that a lot of a lot of the followers have followed me for throughout the years for different reasons. A lot of my ventures, have been in the entertainment business, not necessarily managing in within the boxing world, co-managing. I got I got a little taste of that, but a lot of it has been around boxing, and I think that a lot of people got an insight as that's why she loves boxing. It's not something that just started. It's not something that came about because of who you're around. It was I've been around it since I was a kid. And I really love the sport. I love the sport. I love the discipline. I mentioned the community, the people you meet, the coaches. It's not always pretty, but stay in your lane. You're gonna be fine. Be you and you're gonna be fine. And like how he said, if they don't like them, fuck it.
That's
Fuck
what he
them.
said. That's what he said.
That's
And
it.
like I told you, he's a real one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And speaking of real, I mean, we got a real fight coming up. I mean, December 9th, man, the whole card is stacked. And earlier today we had Regis Pro Gray, and like I said, I had to take that call. That was the Haney camp. We just had to confirm some things right here to help keep the
Okay.
lights on. And next week we have David Benavidez taking on Boo Boo Andrade. A lot of people are calling this a 50-50 fight. I like what David Benavidez does in the ring. I cannot ignore what Boo Boo Andrade also brings to the table. For him, this is his big
Hmm.
opportunity to show the world on the biggest platform ever on pay-per-view, Thanksgiving weekend, exactly what he brings to the table, because he wants what David Benavidez has. He wants what Canelo has. He wants what Tyson Fury has. He wants that stardom. He wants that big
Hmm.
name in those big opportunities, and there's nothing wrong with that big
Yeah.
paycheck.
No, I mean they're looking for their break. Either been working hard for it, and it's like he's not gonna go in there and you know, hopefully not dance around. He's gonna bring in a show, and it's like you just reminded me right now. I have a shirt. Speaking of merch and stuff, I have a shirt that says "Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face."
Mike Tyson said it best.
So until you, yeah, when you step into that ring and then you get, punched, and so your plan could go out the window, and but if you're focused and they listen to their corner, and I think that he has
Was
his
was Zoe?
opportunity.
I hope the next time I see Kilo, he don't try to punch me in the face.
No, I hope not.
No,
He's gonna break your other finger.
no, yeah, no, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
I think
happens.
you're
I
good.
think
I
I'm
think you're
okay.
good.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was breaking up a fight, and that's what happened.
Well, there you
It
go.
happens, man.
Don't get into fights, kids.
No, what? They're high school kids. They're not like little kids. They're high school kids, and nowadays these guys are shoot. I mean, they're stronger than they were
They have
before.
men strength.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Well, Zoe, what does the future hold for you? I mean, I know you want to be part of the fighter's voice. The fighter's voice wants to be a part of you. And we got to do this again. We got to put you back on the platform,
Yeah.
have you co-host some shows, put our heads together. Iron sharpens iron. Two heads are better than one. When you hear me say that, how does that make you feel?
Great. The year is ending. I can't wait for this year to be over. 2024. I think that, whatever, I'm open to anything that feels right. You
Yeah.
have to go with your, like even speaking earlier, you got to go with your gut instinct and your feeling, and you can't ignore those feelings sometimes. When something feels right, go for it. If it doesn't, be honest about it, say no, no thanks, or whatever. I think this is a great opportunity. I really enjoy, communicating with people, and just, the banter, the back and forth, the talking, and I think it'd be great. So 2024, whatever, literally whatever comes.
Ex-
I'm gonna let it flow.
Exactly. I can't let you go without asking you this. You were recently at the Vargases once again. I mean, looking spectacular. You show up to all their fights. Let's talk about the Vargas dynasty, and let's talk about the talent they have. And boy, does that DNA run thick from coming from their dad.
Yeah, those kids have it. You know, all of them do. At the beginning of the show, Amado announced that he was supposed to fight that night also, and first, I believe his opponent didn't make medicals or something like that, so he wasn't able to fight. He will be fighting in Carson December 2nd, I believe, or
Uh huh.
16th. Don't quote me on that, but one of those dates. But Junior went on there and he gave a show.
Did
You
his
know,
thing.
he walks in there and that kid is he's like he has a look. The kid has a certain look. He just looks like they switch it on and there's fire in his eyes and it's over. He sees his opportunity. He goes in to finish and he does. And it was a stoppage. I believe was the second
Yeah.
round. A few seconds
Yeah.
in. I mean he's solid. Junior is just solid and seeing getting back home, I was there. But then getting back home, and the first thing I want to do is rewatch the fights because it's different.
Yeah.
You're
Absolutely.
you're in the middle of an event. You're distracted. But once you get home, and I'm like watching it, and then to see how he pays attention really close. A lot of the fighters I do see, the corners are talking to them, but it's coming in and it's going out this way, and you can tell they're not paying attention. You know, and Junior really does hold on to his father's voice. He pays attention to what he says. He goes out there, and all the boys do, and I love that. They respect him. Sorry about that.
There you go.
They respect him. They respect, come on. It's Fernando Vargas. But I really do love how the boys do pay attention to their corner, and they go out and they execute, and they're on their way to the top.
I agree. I agree. Every fight they get gives them the experience that they need, and they're one step closer to exactly where the dynasty wants to take them. I mean, because they were born for this. They're. I mean, it comes from a father that one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. And he never turned down an opponent. He always brought his best inside of the ring, win, lose, or draw. And I said that earlier about Oscar De La Hoya. And I remember that one time they had that feud, but they always had that respect. And today they continue to have that respect. And now they're supportive of one
Yeah.
another. And I think that's a good thing when it's all said and done. How fighters can be rivals, but now just have respect and be acquaintances after the last bout.
Yeah, they're cordial and they both understand what they went through. I mean, they know the battle that it is to get to where they both were and that where they're at, still respected as fighters. So it's interesting to see them when they see each other and they say hello and they exchange pictures. I love seeing that. I love, when I see, the older boxers I bumped into not many times, but I've seen
Yeah.
Chavez, and how the other fighters, just like the fans, they bow down,
Yeah.
and it's just really awesome to see that they were rivals at the moment, the fights, and the I got to see Trinidad and
Oh, wow.
De La Hoya, yeah, back in
Yeah. Yeah. That was a
97,
great fight.
98, yeah. And I remember, it was super exciting. I was only like 14, 15 years old at Universal Studios, and they're fighting and they're, and it's just like, what is going on,
Yeah.
But to see that and like to see them now and how they conduct themselves around other boxers and the new fighters and how they're supporting the new generation, that's really
I
dope.
remember that. I had Oscar De La Hoya winning the fight. After the fight, he fired Gil Clancy, who was in the who was his manager. No, I'm sorry, who was his trainer, and told Oscar basically just coast the last couple of rounds, which is a big mistake because you also want to put the closing, you want to put that mark down that hey, win the last round. So that's just a part of boxing history. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't ignore that fight without saying exactly what took place. But win, lose, or draw, Oscar fought everybody, and that's a discussion that I had earlier today when I had two-time world champion Regis Prograis, who's also the main event.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you this before I let you go. Regis Prograis, Devin Haney. I just got off the phone with Devin Haney's father right now. Who do you have winning this fight December 9th in San
Oh
Francisco,
no, don't do that
California?
to me. Don't do that to me because I do that to the fans. I always ask, who do you got? Because I'm never gonna be. it's very rare when people do know who I'm going for, because I like to watch. You never know. Anything can happen. Anything can change the minute they step into the ring. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going for.
Okay, well then I'm gonna have to go on live when you're always having your you have these live
Yes.
parties and sometimes I go in and I'll watch them. I feel like I'm there too, eating a plato of tortillas and cerveza when I'm at your house right there by watching it just
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. I mean, I love having them. A lot of the times, unfortunately, I understand. I know why they do it. There has to be a way where I think I'm going to have to go on live and not necessarily show, what's really going on, and more
Give
tell
an
the people what's
interpretation of
going
what's
on.
going on.
Pretty much. I think I'm going to have to switch it up a little, but yeah, I love going on live. I love, talking to everyone, seeing some interaction. Some people are like, "Shut up." I'm like, "Dude, no. Get off my live."
Well, you know what? Next week
Go
we
watch
need
my
to go
show.
on live together. Let's go on
Yeah,
Instagram
no,
live, and
that
we'll
would be
just let
super
everybody
fun.
know, and we'll tell them ask away, and then maybe you'll hint
It'd be
exactly
fun.
who you're pulling for.
Let's do
We'll
it.
do it.
I'm
We'll do
in.
it. Hey, once again, how do
Yeah.
we follow you? How do we support you?
You can check. I'm literally on all platforms. I'm on TikTok at Zoe L2325. I'm on Instagram, Zoe L23. I think those are the two main ones. And then, yeah, I'm still on Facebook, but my kids will say that's for old people. So you can find me there too under Zoe Lopez.
Exactly. Well, I think Facebook is more family oriented, but sometimes people, they forget they're on
Yeah.
Facebook and post some things that I'm like, wow, that can probably go to Twitter or somewhere or the adult channel or
Right.
something. But hey, never.
Yeah, right now I'm between Instagram and TikTok, so that's where
Oh,
you can
there you
find
go.
me.
There you go. Exactly. And I'm a
Mhm.
follower. I'm a supporter too. But this is always the best part of the
Awesome.
show. I want to thank our guest today, Kilo the Kid Madera, and we're rooting for him, wishing him well the best come December 9th, and also guest co-host today. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see her pretty face once again in her professionalism and everything that she brings to the table. Once again, I want to thank you, Zoe Lopez, for being part of the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And we're like Zoe and Kilo. We're simply knocking out the competition. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.